What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Rogue Dad Podcast. I'm your host, George. Today I'm trying something new. If you're watching the video, you can see I am in my work van. I just debated on if I should do a video or not, but I thought, what the fuck? So I have really long drives, and I'm constantly thinking of what I'm going to do on the podcast. And when I get to the podcast, I usually forget. It's not as in my head as it is when I'm thinking it in the van. So because of AI editing, it can take out all this noise. Like I hear the engine, I hear the horn, I hear the GPS, uh, stuff moving around the back, but hopefully the AI will get it out. It did a pretty good job on my test run, so I'm gonna leave this in, see what happens. What is new in the Rogue Dad podcast world? So a couple things happened that I've been wanting to talk about and just get off my chest, get out there to the world. And one of them is Rogie got a phone. Was something I really wasn't sure about, but I have completely come around full circle. There's this thought I have in my head where I think phones are amazing. They are absolutely amazing. I do everything for Body Buzz. I'm recording this podcast on my phone. And I just think phones are amazing. I couldn't imagine what it would be like to be an 8-year-old and have this in your hand. I remember being amazed as a kid with remote controls. That was just being able to change the TV. First, it was a remote control for the VCR, the TV, and the cable. When they got a remote control for one thing, that was big shit when you went over someone's house and they had one remote for everything. I remember my grandma Max's TV had a click remote. You can either go up and down on the channel and volume. And now you have a phone that has every movie, every song, every TV show. And let's touch on the fact a little bit that we call it a phone, but no one uses it to call anyone. They're just texting, just send people pictures, videos. It's everything but a fucking phone, and we call it our phone. A phone when I grew up had a big long cord, and it reached from the kitchen. You know what I mean? Then the cordless phone came out. That was big shit. And I just have a different outlook on kids and technology because I grew up outside. I didn't have any of this technology. And a lot of people joke, but having a kid, I go to parks and I go to playgrounds and I go to schools and I do things, with my kid, movie theater stuff. And there's hardly any kids outside. We have this park by my house. It's a couple streets over. And every time we drive past there, there's never any kids on the jungle gym. Maybe take that back. I think I drove by them once and there was a girl there, one girl there. And I just remember those were the spots that was like kids going to work were the playgrounds. That was like parents went to school. I mean, parents went to work, kids went to school and playgrounds. That was our daytime job. School and playgrounds. Going to the park after school. Going to the skate park after school. Going to the park on the weekend. That was like our headquarters. That was like a kid's headquarters. You found out everything at the fucking park. I think I might have gotten my first fight at the park. I don't know. First real try and swing off the swing. Probably first real injury. Like parks are where milestones were when I was a kid, and now there's no kids at parks. Everyone's inside. So that's my point. Back to the point of talking about this stuff is I had a very big sense of not wanting to give her technology. She already has a tablet, but she's very good at it doesn't hook up to anything. You can't have any apps. She uses it for school and she reads on it, which is awesome in itself. You can have every book on that fucking thing. Why would we not want to give kids this technology? Why would we not want to give them the world's library in their hand. Like I have this relationship with phones where they're smartphones. It's just people use them dumb. People just use them in a not so smart way. I was very apprehensive about giving one to my 8-year-old daughter, her mine. She's very good at going outside and playing. She does a lot of outdoor stuff. She's a little owl. She's a Girl Scout. Teresa's very good at getting her out there. But I just didn't want to give her the phone yet. Now, with that being said, Teresa went and got her a phone. And she goes, the idea was that when she's spending the night at people's houses or away from us, she has a way to call us. So I will say that after being apprehensive about it and not really wanting to do it, I am extremely happy that Teresa did do it. And the reason is I have I now have yet another way to communicate with my favorite human being on the planet. That's how I think about it. Now I have yet another way to talk to my daughter. Her text messages are the funniest text messages you could even think about getting. She sends emojis like, I don't know, I'll get like 32 hearts. I get like literally 40 clown faces. I'll get I love you, Dad, out of the blue. She's always very, and she's just learning certain things. So her vocabulary is not that good. So it's very straight to the point. I love you, Dad. Miss you. And just getting that from her out of the blue in the middle of my day, it's the coolest. It's the coolest, man. And for any parent who might be on the fence about that, man, I just can't tell you, like having her call me or send me pictures, or she does videos, just funny stuff. She sends me pictures of her dolls set up certain ways. She listens to music on it. I'm learning her taste in music on it. And when there's no Instagram, there's no Facebook, there's no TikTok, the phone can be so helpful. And I can't imagine myself as an 8-year-old seeing phones everywhere, seeing my mom and dad on their phones, my dad working on his phone, my dad laughing at Instagram videos, my dad playing music, my dad hooking the phone up to his car. As soon as we get in the car, that's the first thing he does is set his phone up and start playing music, getting directions. Everything in my life revolves around a phone. Oh, what year did the Civil War start? Let me look this up. What year did this law come out? Let me look at this. I need a recipe. Mom, can I look it up on your phone? How the fuck are we to expect a kid not to want a phone? After all of that, we're supposed to say, no, you can't have a phone until so and so and so. How about you start them off a little sooner and keep the things off of it that aren't good for them? If I have a calculator that watches porn, if I have a calculator where I can also watch porn on and I just use it as a calculator and don't watch porn, then it's a good thing for me. The tablet, she plays that Roblox game or whatever. It doesn't hook up to the internet. I know there's been some weird stuff about that. But even that, in the increments that we allow her to play it on, because I try to do limit that for sure. Uh, Even that is kind of helping her problem solving. I think video games are good at that. I think video games kind of it's a quest, you know? I got to get through this door. I got to get this box. I got to do this thing. I got to figure this out. I've never been at this level before. How can I do this? I think it's helping things in the brain fire and connect that probably wouldn't otherwise. You're not going to get that stimulation in the exact same way in nature. Just like if I have to start a fire in nature and I'm trying to figure out on a fucking video game, it's not going to be the same as if I do it in nature. I think both things can be equally beneficial in your brain development when you're a kid. I think that it's already been proven that kids that play grow up video game have faster reaction time. I know surgeons and pilots that do video games, their reaction time and their quick thinking in crucial moments is faster than pilots and surgeons that don't play video games. Thanks, Joe Rogan. I think you can integrate the phone and electronics into your kid's life in a positive way. She's not always on her phone. A matter of fact, she's hardly ever on her phone. But when she is, I feel like she's doing good stuff. I feel like it's been a positive thing and I stand corrected. I was very worried about it and I think it's been a good thing with her. She's still very imaginative. She plays organically, you know, not just on her gadgets. So I think if I started seeing where it was the opposite, I would definitely say something. But I think she has a healthy balance. I think it's hard to expect our kids to not be a part of what everybody else is a part of, especially even in her own home. Even in her own home, both there's three fucking people in that house. If two of them are on their phones for work, pleasure, you know, like enjoyment, just finding things out, ordering food, doing these things, Amazon, you know, I think very hard to give them a good reason why they can't have a phone. You just got to put limitations on it, I think. So yeah, she's got her phone. And it's very cool, like I said, getting text messages from my 8-year-old kid because there's going to be a time when or they say, you know, they grow up loving their dad and then they gravitate towards their mom and then they go back to dad. All this fluctuating of affection, I guess you could call it, or just wanting them to be a part of your life. But I just can't see a time when Rogue's not going to want to text me. And maybe I'm being naive, but I think we're doing a good job of having the balance between a friend and a parent. And I think Rogue sees this as kind of her friends too. You know, I don't know if she would put it quite those words, but I feel like we have a friendship, not just a parent-child relationship. And maybe that's weird to say, but she's fucking funny. She's a cool kid. I know that she could talk to me. I could talk to her honestly. And I think that's what a friend is. I know she's 8 and everything, but in any other context, me having a female 8-year-old friend would be fucking horrible. But you know what I'm trying to say. So yeah, she got a phone. It's been a good thing. What else is going on? Oh, so here's another thing is today's episode is sponsored by Body Buds THC Topicals. Body Buds products are infused with high-quality, organically grown cannabis and made in small batches. Body Buds is made with all natural ingredients and comes in 4 different scents: eucalyptus, coconut, lavender vanilla, and my personal favorite, honey almond. Body Buds works great for all kinds of things: sore muscles, joint pain, skin conditions like psoriasis and eczema. It works on sunburns and it even works on mosquito bites and bug bites. So we all know that most things that go wrong with the body is due to inflammation. And THC has a ton of anti-inflammatory properties. And Body Buds has a ton of THC. So go to bodybuds.com. That's BODYBUDDZ.com and use promo code DADPOD for 15% off and free shipping. That's DADPOD for 15% off and free shipping. There's no reason to live in pain, but Body Buds where it hurts and let it do its work. Now back to the show. Rogue is doing cotton candy. And Teresa got in a cotton candy machine and we're trying to teach her how to make money and save money and have a business and keeping track and all of that kind of stuff of products and profit and all that thing, which I think is awesome. Like most things, Teresa is at the head of this operation. You know, it was her idea. She got the cotton candy machine, which it's a good idea. On the surface, I think all of those things are positive things. I really, really do. I think they're important things. My struggle is I spend so much time, and I know Teresa does too. But Teresa's really good at it and has actually helped shape my brain in the way I think about it. More so, I mean, not that I didn't think like this, but just kind of balancing. She's a good reminder of Rogue having protein, carbs for each meal. You know, you want your fats, you want your. She's good at having her macros, you know, breaking things down. And Rogue is growing up, she knows she has a little fruit, she has a little protein, a little meat, and some vegetables. And she's grown up to be good at that. And I am very big on kids and sugar. Think fat kids, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because I know it's not their fault. I know a kid is going to do whatever the fuck you let a kid do. They don't know the difference. Shit, man, I was doing that until I was in my fucking 20s. A 8-year-old kid, a 10-year-old kid, a 7-year-old kid, if you give them shit, they're going to eat shit. If you give them cereal, they're going to eat cereal. Lucky Charms, whatever the fuck. If you give them sugar, they're going to eat sugar. Of course they are. This food is genetically engineered to get in our brain. An 8-year-old is powerless to sugar. Halloween, fuck, you lose your brain. You lose your mind when you're a kid and you come home with this bag full of candy. You get this day of you get to be an absolute glutton on the thing that any other day of the year you have to do in moderation. But on this day, on Halloween, All Hallows Eve, I get to not only go door to door, and these fucking parents who normally tell me not to eat too much candy are giving me candy, but I might even get to steal some other kid's candy. I might find a bag of candy. I might hit the jackpot. It's endless candy when you're a kid on this day. So me telling Rogue constantly how bad sugar is for her and how I point out this is sound bad, but I point out on other unhealthy people when we're at the store or when we're at certain places. You know, sometimes she'll point out, "Hey, look at this guy's belly," or look. She pointed out this girl's butt crack the other day. This lady was, oh my god, she was so big, and Rogue was like, "Look at this butt crack. Look at her butt crack, Dad." And I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty funny." Uh, so, I mean, she's 8. She's very honest, and I'm very honest with her about her health. That is something I think we lack very much in this country is an honest view of health. I do not think people take their mental health serious. I do not think people take their physical health serious. Me eating right is an abnormal thing to most people. When you tell people the way you eat, yeah, I grew my own chickens, or I don't buy this, or we have raw milk. We don't drink regular milk. And listen, it's been uh you have to it's a slow process. We've refined this process. Rogue is 8. Me and Teresa have been together 9 years. Like, it's been we both have different tastes, we both have different wants when it comes to food. And I think we've chipped away and gotten it down to a very good system. I really like our eating habits, everyone in the house. No one's smoking, no one's a big alcoholic, you know, there's no real bad habits in the house. And I definitely take pride in that, but that's not a normal thing. You're not going to find any fucking Doritos in our house. You're not going to find any soda. That's for goddamn sure. You ain't finding no soda in my house. I'll give it away. When people come over and they leave it in the fridge, I give it away to the neighbors. Beer, I'll give it to the neighbors. Uh, Rogue having this business venture where she's selling sugar. It's literally just a ball of sugar. It's very conflicting with me because it goes against everything that I've told her. I've told her, I say this all the time, sugar is poison. Sugar is poison. When you give a kid sugar, that's when you start seeing all the things going on with the brain. and all of these things. Sugar is an absolute poison. It's very weird for me to have her give it out to other kids and then tell her she can't eat it. I'm very conflicted with this. I'm very conflicted with it because it breaks my heart to see little fat kids, man. It does. They're adorable. On one point, they are. But it's so sad because it's the parents' fault. It just shows when you see a fat kid, it shows a lack of responsibility on the parents' part. They show when I see a unhealthy kid, I go, okay, this I can't fucking talk to this parent. Anything this parent tells me, I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna listen to you. You can tell me about anything. I'm not gonna take you at face value. You're gonna have to show me some credentials to let me even believe what you're saying because your kid's fucking fat. And if you would let that happen, if you would let your kid go through life like that and be that unhealthy, which is going to lead to pain, it's going to lead to kids teasing him. Kids are the worst in school when they're younger. Kids are so mean, it's going to lead to self esteem issues. It's going to lead to health issues. It's going to lead to all these things that are very preventable in a kid. You can prevent these things from happening. Kids are growing. They'll take in just as fast as kids grow out of shape. If you give them shit, if you start giving them healthy things, that will show quick too. Kids are growing. Your body is taking these things in at a rapid rate and using the food, digesting the food, and putting all the shit where it needs to go at a very fast rate when you're a kid. It's growing. Your muscles are taking this from it. Your bones are taking this from it. Your brain is taking other things from the food that you put in your body, the fuel that you put in your body. It's digesting it and it's allocating all these vitamins and minerals and all the shit everywhere in the body. And there's certain parts of the body that react differently to these things. Your skin reacts to sugar and oils and stuff different than your hair and your brain do. You different than your bones do. Different than your eyes do. If I drink carrot juice, it's good for my eyes. It's not so good for my bones. Maybe it is, I don't know. But we all know it's good for your eyes. So when you take in sugar, it's fucking with your brain. I want to change Rogue selling cotton candy, but I have to admit, and I can't even pretend to think that an 8-year old adorable girl, a funny kid at a table, swirling cotton candy and selling it and chopping it up with everybody and learning. And she could make balloon animals. We were going to do cotton candy and balloon animals, full on circus vibe. I didn't tell her, but I was going to put clown paint on and stuff and dress up like a clown and just hang out with her. Maybe we could take pictures. So it's just a conflicting thing. And maybe I'm making too much of it, but it feels weird telling her one thing and then literally teaching her how to make money off of the thing that I'm telling her not to do. She's profiting off poisoning kids. And it's just this weird vibe I can't shake. I don't know how to reconcile with these two things. And yeah, I don't know where to go from there because it feels weird helping her do this, even though I think a lot of it is a good idea. Like maybe sell protein cookies or I don't know what else she could sell that would be cool. I was thinking like candy apples because even the Girl Scout cookies, like Thin Mints are the worst. They're the worst for you. I just found this out like last year that they're the worst cookies for you. Forever chemicals, like all this other shit in it. I love Thin Mints. It is going to be impossible for my daughter to sell Girl Scout cookies and me not eat Thin Mints. It's so hard. This is going to be a total test of my will, and I don't know if I'm going to pass it. Yeah, that's the sugar thing. So I hope this all gets recorded fine and the AI edits this audio good so that I can do this. This is so much easier for me because, man, trying to find time. We did get a new shed. I call it the studio, but I wanted a space for everybody to be able to just go out there and be creative. When I'm at work, I want Rogue and Teresa to go out there and do Rogue schoolwork. I wanted to be her classroom. There's an easel, there's guitar in there, there's the body bud stuff in there. So when Rogue looks in there, when she walks in there, she looks around and she scans it. She sees everything that's creative. She sees the paintbrushes, she sees the pencils, she sees the canvases, she sees my side with all the toys and the model or we're building a robot. She sees the body bud stuff that creates things. And I just wanted a space for everybody. And Teresa, Teresa's mold of her pregnant stomach is there. I intentionally put that out there, hoping that, Teresa would be out there too and drawing. She's a good artist. I mean, Teresa's a good artist. She's very creative. And I just wanted a space for all of us to be able to go out there, to get away from the house or even just, our bedroom or our roommate. Just kind of be creative. Yeah. And why did I start talking about this shit? That's why I'm doing the podcast here, is because when I'm out there, it's not that I couldn't do it out there. There's the little things. It's the chickens. It's the neighbor with the lawnmower. It's all of the things dropping down on the tin roof making noises. It's the dogs barking. It's too late when I get home or just these things. And it's a very cool space. I like it. Just as far as the podcast goes, I just thought I'm here in the van. Sometimes I'm driving for 3 hours. I still got an hour and 20 minutes left of my drive. And this podcast has been going on for 30 minutes. And I feel like if I can get good audio out of this, and maybe even good video, whenever I do solo shows and I don't have a guest, I can do it like this. And I don't know. I think it's a pretty cool idea. I think it will help the time go by in the van. I think it'll help my drives go by a little faster. And like I said, I'm in the van by myself thinking all the time. And every time I get back to the house and I write the thought down, it's never as concise as when I thought it the first time. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I hope everything works out and this audio comes out good because this is easy. All right, everybody. Don't be afraid to go rogue with your parenting. If you like the podcast, give it a thumbs up. All that stuff. I hear all the other podcasts say. I just went over a bottle. I wonder if you're going to hear that. So, all right, everybody. Love you. Bye.